Trend Talk. Let your voice be heard.
Right, thanks for Stephen there. It is still Trend Talk on Trend 100.9 FM. And my name is Success David. I still have with me in the studio gentleman Eric Samuel and our analyst Patrick Okonkwo. And I mentioned that we're going to be having a guest who is going to be engaging with us on the discuss of today, which is citizens' engagement on budget planning and to a great extent implementation. And the guest we have with us is Comrade Victor Ojei, who is the SSA on civil societies and NGOs to the governor, popularly known as Wongbox. Good morning. Thanks for obliging us to come for the show.
Thanks for having me here. Feels good to be here.
Okay, so let's go straight to the conversation. The citizens' engagement, which held sometime last week concerning the budget planning. For what I'd like to think that's for the 2024 budget?
Yes.
Okay.
Ahead. We have to plan by coming together. Basically, in that session, we had the PGs of various communities in Delta State. We had some opinion leaders, stakeholders. There were NGOs, there were civil society representatives. So we had to come together to deliberate on the way forward to plan. Because budget is all about planning for the next financial year, that's the fiscal year. So it was a good one. It was a good one because most of the PGs had to, when you want to plan, you need to, there's what we call the need-based assessment of communities, of regions. So these PGs coming together representing the interests of their people. Like,
when you say PGs, what's
President General
okay.
of communities. And these guys are learned men. Some are professors, some are medical doctors, some are lawyers, and that have integrity over the years in their community. So they are representing the interests of their people.
Okay.
Yes.
So I must say, let me just interject here. I must say that this is not the first time we are experiencing such, because I've never heard, that a governor or a government will invite the communities to come and plan ahead, or to say that this is their needs, so that they put that in budget. Perhaps, maybe that they do that through the representative in the House of Assembly.
No, I doubt. Okay. Look, the way this thing happens, normally, like I advised the government, I'm the government, but I have a duty of care to advise the government when the needs comes. And I came from the activism perspective of governance. And I want to appreciate His Excellency Sheriff for deeming it fit that in his government he wants a round peg in round holes, square peg in square holes. I think this will be the first time that someone that is not fully a politician is kind of appointed as the SSA on civil societies and NGO. That goes to prove that the governor wants to really do a good job for Deltans. So now in that session, I advised that subsequent budget planning, the state government should organize town hall meetings whereby everybody from each local government will meet at their community town hall, at the central community town hall. The government representatives will be there to listen to the communities on what they want. Because a community, maybe in Ndukwa East, might not want you to change the roof of their children, their primary school, and the government will go and be constructing toilets for them. You need to prioritize and itemize the priority, the need of the community.
People. Okay.
And by prioritizing that, you now plan your budget, because you plan your budget with what you have, with what you have. You cannot have, let's say, you generate, let's say, a maximum of 500 billion annually, and you go and be planning a budget for 1 trillion. So the budget and allocation and planning must be within your range of what you generate as a government, either your federal allocation or your IGR, or maybe sometimes we usually have grants from international NGOs that funds community and rural development.
Okay, but that does not answer the question my colleague posed. He said, is this the first time that the government is engaging the citizens? Because, for instance, as media houses or as a media house, personally, I've not heard of any citizens' engagement as far as budget is concerned. But
it's a regular phenomenon.
It's a regular
economic planning with the Ministry of Economic Planning, the Commissioner of Economic Planning.
Before now, in past administrations,
it has been going on. But it's just that it doesn't gain a lot of publicity. It's like the previous Governor Ifeanyi Okowa. He did a lot in Delta State, but because of his media, didn't really did a good job by promoting and publicizing what he did. Most persons will be saying that what did Okowa do? What did Okowa? No, Okowa did a lot.
Did he do?
I should start counting.
Did he do based on the people's needs, or he did majorly things that a government is supposed to be? Because just like
you know one thing about Governor Okowa. You know one thing about Governor Okowa.
No, you've established.
Listen. I was the PRO for civil societies and NGOs in Delta State
during Okowa's time.
Okowa's region.
Okay.
Now, good thing about Governor Okowa is that he was very responsive. If maybe I saw debris inside a sockaway at Nebisi Road and I snapped it and posted it on social media, before 24 hours the government will go and clear that place.
Okay.
Governor Okowa was very responsive. Okay, now the people don't need to come together to ask Governor Okowa to construct the Coca interchange. Today, since after they constructed that interchange, there's nothing like hold up. Governor Okowa solved the problem of interchange. Look at the civil servants. Former governors used to rent accommodations for ministries, various ministries. Most ministries were under rent, and that was the government was where they were spending so much on annual rentage of these various parastatals. What did the Governor Okowa do? He set up the new secretariat at Mariam Bank that way, and now civil servants now have accommodation. They now feel like bankers. Their accommodation is state of the art.
Okay, so we're not focusing.
The traditional rulers.
Yes.
He constructed traditional rulers, chieftaincy affairs. Their office. They now have a secretariat where the traditional rulers come together to resolve conflicts.
Now let's bring it to the current administration, because the past administration.
No, you said something. You asked if
you have answered the question.
So now I just want you to know that the community don't need to come together. Governor Okowa just use his intuition to know that. Okay, look at nursing. Look at how he upgraded our nursing facilities. From 30 to
Madam Speaker, in as much as we don't right now we are heroizing, people, and
that's why I said
no. You were the one that asked about the past. I now took you to the past. Now you are not trying to run away from the past.
The truth. When we're talking about budget right now.
Yes.
No,
you took me to the past budget.
Yes.
And the past government.
Now,
and I am now putting you through, showing light on achievements.
The
through budgeting, because Governor Okowa did all this through on the issue budget,
on the issue of
what he has.
On the issue of budget. Yes. On the issue of budget, some of us. I work in this. I was once a civil servant.
Which of the parastatals
I was in broadcasting.
Broadcasting.
Yes, I was. I know that every year, the House of Assembly will take budget. All the ministries will come to the House of Assembly
for appropriation. Yes,
and they get the approval. Nobody has ever come to tell you how the past year was achieved, how many percentage they achieved, and all that. It's just like it's a normal annual ritual. No. I'm just right now. If we are bringing that, I wanted to commend your what you are doing. That is the truth about it. That now the enlightenment is coming in. You are now doing the ideal. But I don't want us to really, because we'll start talking about what has been happening. Nobody knows. You just hear 3-point-something trillion for a year. Nobody goes back to say, was that amount extended? Did they use?
We're talking about accountability.
Yes.
What you are saying about the next. What you are asking of now falls on the duty of civil societies. Civil societies has that mandate.
Yes.
hold the government accountable for accountability and transparency.
Okay, so as the SSA, hold on. As the SSA on civil society now, you just said that responsibility falls on the civil society. How far have you gone with the accountability, government being accountable?
You know the problem we are having. The civil society community in Delta State is actually corrupt. And the media, they are not doing us well in Delta State to ensure that they expose this criminality or criminals operating under the guise of civil society.
Can you tell us some of those criminality or things that are done?
You see,
by civil society.
You see, what now goes on is that
an attempt to expose them without the media.
I have been exposing them, but the media in Delta State don't do anything. They just act as if they are helpless. There's a lot of the civil society is not gangsters. They now operate as gangsters.
That is the reason why you're here. The media is helping you expose these people.
Trend FM is doing a good one today, but prior to today, the media doesn't even want to talk about it.
Prior to today, government, civil societies and government people do not like to engage with the media. We've sent several letters. No. This is my job. It's my job, and I can tell you for one fact that we send letters and we invite these people and they do not come. Government people, civil society organizations, they do not come
for programs like this. Do you know that? Look, you know when you speak the truth, people will avoid you.
Oh, that's true. That's the society we are.
Another thing again, mostly online media, they don't make use of my content because I always on it. There's no week I don't write articles, about 5 or 6 articles.
Okay, so
but they don't make use of it.
So let's have it.
I send it on. Look,
media houses.
Listen, media houses are on all political platforms, on all most civil society platforms. They are everywhere, and they see it. I even inbox it to them. I can give you my phone to check.
You're here now, so let's hear some of those things.
Because of most times they want you to monetize whatever they want you to.
Can we hear some of those things now?
Comrade Ojei.
Okay, it's like.
Can we hear some of those things? Yes, please.
For instance, you will see an activist that usually make arrest for men that sleeps with minor, and another activist will now find out that this same activist that usually arrest those offenders, sex offenders, is still guilty of the same crime. Now we will now bring this into public space on social media and articles. But do you know that the journalists, media houses in Delta State, they will look the other way as if they did not see it. They will not lend the voice to it. Look at this Mohbad issue. How can you bring remote issue to Delta State when you know that there's insecurity, when you know that the NSAS gave platform to what is going on now in the Southeast? Look at the Southeast. If you go to the Southeast today, you are not sure of coming back.
How does that concern governance and budget implementation? That's why I asked.
What
are some of the criminalities concerning the budget? Accountability.
No, wait. Excuse me. You asked why were the civil society not engaging the government on accountability?
Yes.
I am not telling you that civil society in Delta State, they are operating as gangsters. When
so most of them,
when you go to, because see, service to humanity is the best work of life, and you don't need to pay any activist for him or her to advocate for you. It's a free service. It's a pro bono service. We even have a lot of lawyers that even went to school that are supposed to collect money from you, but they offer service of pro bono on most cases that you bring to them. They already know where they make their money. Now, civil society activists, do you know that many activists now in Delta State, if you go to them with a case, they will ask you for 100,000 naira. They call it consultation fee, which is illegal. It's wrong. It's supposed to be free. Now, most media houses are aware of this. It's already on public space, but they are not giving a voice to it.
You are right here.
Yes.
Commenting and, giving us these figures, and there are no names to back it up. When we talk about accountability, when we talk about naming names, when we talk about facts, there have to be names to back this up. There shouldn't be an opportunity to presume from the public. So if indeed you're saying civil societies in Delta State are gangsters, from what you've said so far, so good.
Most of them.
There are
still some good guys.
So that means you have a number of these persons who you can name names about to say these persons have been, found guilty or perhaps corrupt in some areas. Now, the main conversation about all of this, but how we got to where we are right now, it has been basically about how the government in Delta State have been able to engage the people, if that has actually been before now. You rightly mentioned the previous administration of Governor Kowa, but did we see an engagement with the people, or perhaps he just presumed the need of the people and went ahead with his intuition?
I will not totally agree that he presumed, because myself, I can give you a lot of petitions, because I always call attention of government, on areas that they should be looking at. You understand? So I will not totally agree that Governor Kowa presumed, because I'm a civil society representative and the PRO, and I did a lot with respect to working, because civil society in Delta State, or human rights activists in Delta State, they see it that to be an activist means to fight government. But no, it means working with the government. It means working as a bridge between the people and the government. You are supposed to fill that lacuna. It's a shared responsibility. The people has a duty of care.
So the
government has a duty of care.
Civil society works with the government.
They are supposed to. But here in Delta State, most of them, they work against the government. And like many of them do it for clout chasing, for them to have likes, followers and all. But that is not how it ought to be.
Well, you seem to be singing a different story. I mean, last year, I believe the Delta State team, the PDP team, did contact you for a position which you turned down. But what's different about this particular time?
Okay, what do you know why I turned it down? I turned it down because of I don't want to kind of have anybody dictating my direction as an activist. But stakeholders in PDP, they made me to know one thing, that no, we are not bringing you in to control you.
You mean for the present day?
Yes.
Okay.
They say we are not bringing you in. You are still doing your thing. You are still holding us accountable. Anything you see that is not right, you say it out, and we correct it the way you used to be. You have a free hand, and that was why Governor Sharif went ahead to appoint me.
Okay.
And even since he appointed me, I have been doing a lot within the PDP to hold the party accountable on some lacunas. And the PDP has been so responsive.
So it's safe to say you're a PDP person now.
Of course, I'm a member of PDP, not just a PDP person.
Let me ask this question. Let me ask this question. Let us not forget that what we're looking at is citizens' engagement on budget planning and implementation.
Exactly.
Now, talking about the budget, is it a public document? If you're talking about citizens' engagement, then these citizens we're talking about should be able to have access to the budget.
The budget is there. It's online.
Document?
The Delta State government has website. Go to datastate.gov.ng. You will see it there. Everything is a public matter.
Okay, so the past
It's a public matter. The documents, the budgets are online. It's not hidden.
Okay.
It's not a secret.
All right.
Unless maybe you are not aware that the budget is online.
Now that you have said it, now that you have said it, right? Another question I would like to ask is, during the citizens' engagement, you mentioned what the previous budget actually was, which you said that they engaged the public. Maybe it was at the time it was not made public. There was not much publicity around it.
It has always been public.
Okay, so you mentioned that the budget was around 571 billion naira as at the time, but then they incurred an additional 71.2, which rounded off the 2023 budget to 809. So considering, or if you're saying that it engaged the public at the time before they came up, they got to the point of 571, what brought about the additional monies that rounded off the budget for 2023 to 809?
Look, we are aware that that budget was estimated using $70 per barrel. And we all know that the currency, the forex market fluctuates. So the exchange rate as at the time that budget was prepared is not what we are having today. So if there are excesses, you should be looking around the exchange rates, the forex market.
So it was the
because the budget is being prepared with using dollar as a standard.
Okay.
And dollar is unstable. Even when you are awarding contract to contractors, you give them for contingency plan.
So the economic situation brought about the increase in the budget.
Everybody knows dollar is more than maybe dollar got to 1,000 plus recently.
Okay, so as somebody who worked with the past administration, working with the current administration,
Yes.
because the past administration, the 2023 budget ran into the present administration. Would you say that part of what the citizens engaged the past administration on concerning the budget has been met? Has it been implemented? Most of it, the list.
Most of the budgets,
Most of the things that
have
the
been
citizens
implemented.
said they wanted, have they been implemented from the 2023 budget?
totally, they have not all been implemented, but it's a work in progress. Like that of the Oko community. I was the one that championed the campaign for road, for Oko market, because of the socio-economic impact of Oko. They are farmers, they are fish farmers, they are into all kinds of farming, agriculture. Now, these farmers need road, access road to bring this food stuff, these agro products to the city here in Delta State. But because of their lack good road access road to the city, they now use waterways to ship their goods to Anambra State. So Anambra State are now benefiting from the agro sector of Delta State. But now, Centraco, the government has awarded contract to a construction company, and they have started work.
Okay, so the Train FM road, I'm sure you passed them when you're coming. It was part of the 2023 budget of the past administration. That has been abandoned. I like to think that that has been paid for. So for somebody who has first-hand experience of citizens' engagement concerning the 2023 budget, and that has not been done, now we're moving on to 2024. What is to say that that will not be completed, to be abandoned to who knows when?
No, nobody is going to abandon any projects or contracts. But the governor has assured Deltas, I don't know if you are following the governor's social media handle, that there is no room for he's not going to abandon any project of his predecessor. That every project must be attended to, and that there is no room for poor quality construction or projects. No anything substandard. Even Charles Anyagu, the commissioner for works and rural, also made it very clear last week that there is no room for poor quality jobs. So the government has made their stance that anything poor quality, anything below standard will not be acceptable.
All
so
right.
as per the Trend FM road, the government, now that you have even said it, it's even a good one. Like I said, the previous administration were very responsive. And I know Governor Sheriff is a God-fearing man who has Deltas at heart. You saw what he did. He awarded 3 flyover bridges at Warri, and then the other road project. And he's doing a lot to take over federal government roads that have been abandoned, like the Agbo Abraka Link Road, Federal Highway.
Well, I think it's very good for when you have government officials coming on air to tell us, some of these laudable projects that government wants to do. Thank God you are coming from. I'm looking at you from the background where you are coming from, and we talked about budget. The question I asked that is yet to be answered is, do you sit down after a particular fiscal year to analyze the percentage of job that was done vis-a-vis the amount used for that job before you now start talking about planning for another? I haven't said that. That's just one question. Then I will tell you that you initially you talked about media houses not helping matters. Have you gone to your state-owned television station? You are comfortable here now, the way it is. Can you equate a private-owned station with a state-owned station? Go to that place and see how it is. And I tell you that it used to be, what do we call it now? I want to use a word for it. For government, for some past government, that station has always been something pipe. They use what do we call that pipe? Conduit pipe. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Conduit pipe. Go there and look at it. And I'll tell you that if you made a statement, towards the end of the year, you will see where the ministries will be hurrying to buy both what you don't want and what you need to make sure that they balance their equipment. That is why I said initially when I started that I'm happy we are coming from. That was is it the first time? Because if you look at previous government, it has not been like that. But since you are standing for both government, the past and the present, that is why I'm asking you those questions.
First, I want to appreciate Delta Broadcasting Service, their staff, and the former GM for giving me a voice. Because DBS, as one of the media houses that always gave me a voice.
But you
platform.
said you were the media.
No, I said most of the media.
Okay.
Most of the media,
In
mostly on the online.
Okay.
Most not the traditional media.
Well,
You see NTA, you see DBS, you see Punch, you see Sun, in Daily Independent,
Trend FM.
TVC channels. Trend FM, no. Trend FM just gave me a voice today, and I just hope it will continue. I just started building relationship with Trend FM.
You have when my speaker told you that we've been having invitation to government of
nobody invited me, and this was the first time that your news manager invited me after the session at government house, the budget planning 2024 budget planning meeting. That was when he approached me, and I obliged, and today I'm here to honor it, and I'll continue to honor it. Now, I said earlier on that the government of Delta State are very responsive when they see a problem. Take for instance, in DBS they had a lot of backlog of contract staffs that were not full-time staff. I communicated with His Excellency Okowa. I said, His Excellency, you need to convert these people to full-time staff. Immediately he approved it, and almost everybody there, he assimilated everybody. Go and find out. Go to DBS.
Have they started? Have they started off their payments yet? Because I have friends who were converted to full-time staff.
Myself, that
and
is
as the last time when I spoke with these friends of mine, they said they've not been paid.
My dear,
have they started off their payments?
I got appointed by His Excellency the Governor of Delta State, Sheriff Oborewori, on the 2nd of August 2023, and today is what, October 4th, right? I have not yet been paid because of what? Government normally, when you are appointed or when you get an appointment, you have to work for 3 months or maybe more. They will now accumulate all your benefits and pay you. This is my 3rd month of being appointed. I'm not complaining. I'm here to sit. I've been doing the work since governor appointed me, and I'm not complaining. I'm happy doing the work, serving the humanity, serving the government, because I now have a platform to help our people. That was why I joined PDP. They said if you cannot beat them, you join them and fight from within, and that's what I'm doing, because you cannot win the war from outside. So that's why I came in. You said that you're not part of PDP. I said no, I'm not a member of PDP.
Okay.
And I'm here to get things done rightly, and we are getting it done rightly. So you see that Governor Okowa did very well by converting all contract staff that have worked for 8 years, 6 years, 5 years. He converted everybody, and hopefully, I know your Delta State government will not violate their labor rights of those your friends. Delta State government will take care of them. Governor Sheriff will take care of them.
Appointment without equipment.
Look. Which equipment? You mean DBS?
Yes.
No, look, let me tell you something. Even the previous GM has been processing DBS to be on GoTV and DSTV. Just before he left, he was almost running up. You can call him. The installation at Ubuluku.
It did not just start today. It started long ago.
Look, but at least it's a work in progress. Yeah. Look, it's better you start than you don't even do it at all. He's already making effort, and I believe he's finalizing. He's bought a lot of equipment. To upgrade the station. Go and see the studio there. They are look at when you get to
gentlemen, please. Let's open the phone lines. The conversation for today is citizens' engagement on budgets, planning and implementation. And if we're talking citizen engagement, it is only fair that we open the phone line so people can engage with the government via their representatives here. SSA to the governor on civil societies and NGOs, Comrade Victor Ojei. 0814-039-2069. 0814-039-2069. If you have any questions you want to ask, you can call that number or you can send a text. 0814-039-2069. Again, 0814-039-2069. You said, Comrade Victor, that you've done a lot of work before the capacity which you're serving in, or serving as now the SSA to the governor. In your capacity as an activist and having taken on the responsibility of a politician, there are, as far as Nigeria is concerned, these are two extremes, especially because we've seen it play out where people who were activists turn on to be on the same side with the government and leave their activism job or talk less about what the people expect them to do. Would you say that's the same thing with your case? Because I know that people, well, not to speak generally, but some persons may perceive from the aspect of lack of trust since you've taken on the new status.
You are very wrong, totally wrong. You see, the likes of Femi Falana contested for governor of his state. The likes of Ganifa Wehimi contested for president of this country. They were activists. The likes of Fela Kuti contested for president. He was an activist. Look, if you cannot beat them, you look. Oshomole, just that Oshomole messed up. Festus Keyamo messed up because Festus Keyamo is a minister today. No impact in Delta State. We didn't feel him. We look in Nigeria. We have great men of God. We have Oyedepo. We have Pastor Christopher Kilome. We have Christo Cap. We have a lot of great men that are doing well with respect to the work of God. We also have corrupt pastors that have disgraced the pastoral work. We have good Nigerians. They say Nigerians are Yahoo, Nigerians are scam, Nigerians are 419. But we still have good people in Nigeria. You say activists join politics and they become corrupt, they now start working against the people's interests. Yes. But there are still activists that stood their ground till death. Femi Falana is still there standing. A lot of them. Professor Gangstas is there. A lot of activists are still doing well in politics, holding the government accountable even when they are still with the government. It's a wrong notion if you say activists now join politics. No, if you want a better life for your people, you should join politics. Because one of the ways to get platform to touch the lives of your people, because politics is all about the interest of the people. Democracy is all about the interest of the people, not the interest of the politician as per se. You are there to represent your people's interest. But the problem now is that politicians allow it to get into their head. I know a lot of politicians in PDP that I campaigned for. They are now in House of Assembly. If they see me, they'll be acting as if they don't know me. They can't even compliment me or greet me. Will I now say I will now rule out others that still appreciate me?
The question I want to ask you.
You get my point?
I get your point.
So
but the question
you will not just assume that everybody that joins politics is not a bad person, or everybody that is a pastor is a bad person, or every young Nigerian boy is a Yahoo boy. Look at the two young boys that sponsored Big Brother Nigeria, I think the two years ago. Abeg Nigeria and and the other young guy that they have dreadlocks. One gave the Big Brother 1 billion naira, the other one I think about 3 billion naira. But if you look at them, you would think they are Yahoo boys, but they are not Yahoo boys. They are into cryptocurrency exchange. They made their money from crypto.
Okay, thank you so much, Comrade Victor. But if you listen to the question I asked, I never made an assumption or an assertion. I only said, would you say it's the same thing with your case? Another question I want to ask is, for the persons who you used as examples, would you say they're politicians? Would you say that they are outright politicians in Nigeria? Femi Falana, at least for the ones which is still very much talked about present-day Nigeria, is he a politician?
He's a politician. He's a socio-political activist. Myself, I'm a socio-political activist. Socio-political activist has a big role to play when you talk about social politics and socio-economic activities. You don't just shout from outside. Why not get in and get the job done?
So now that you're in, you get the job done.
I'm getting it right.
Okay.
I'm getting it right.
I must commend your enthusiasm.
Sorry, let me talk. Let me say something. Okay. Sorry to cut you short. Like when I got into PDP, Governor Sharif became governor, and Governor Sharif, the stakeholders of PDP gave a mandate. They needed a lady to be appointed as a special assistant, any age, whether elderly man or young girl, a youth less than 40 years old, and an elderly man. So 3 from each ward. Then some of the stakeholders now hijacked it. I was the one that called the attention of the leadership of PDP. And what did Governor Sharif and the leadership do? They put eyes into it, and they warned that they must follow the rules of engagement, that the instruction that they gave, and the PDP followed that rules. I was the one who brought the attention of the leaders, and even since then I've been doing a lot within the party to ensure that no spirit of bitterness will be planted amongst mostly the youth, because the youths are not really happy with the system. That's why you saw this madness for this OB something, because the Nigerian youth are tired. They are frustrated.
It's a good.
They don't have any. They have lost hope.
Comrade
so
Victor.
They just saw the Labour bandwagon as a hope for
Comrade
change.
Victor, before we
So
before
why
we go
do you
political,
say? Why do you call it? For I beg your pardon for dragging you back, but why do you choose to refer to other people who don't share the same political belief as you with the term mad? Why did you use that
Nigerians
word?
are gullible. Nigerians are easily deceived.
Couldn't you have used a better word?
Nigerians are easily deceived. They are gullibles. You see, most Nigerians, they like following trend. Look at the answers. Look at this Mohbad something. And now you are now seeing that this Mohbad case is now going ugly. Imagine a remote issue. They are coming to protest in Asaba about a death in Lagos.
So if you
do you know how many policemen that they kill in Asaba, in Delta State every day?
if you believe in something,
Do you know how many?
shows,
Do you know a lot of people that die every day that nobody talks about?
if you believe
Do you
in
know that
something,
in at Air Comfort Asaba, a baby's organ was harvested on October of last year? Do you know that I was the only activist? Every activist removed body. Till date, we are still on that matter at Abuja now.
okay, so if
Do you know
somebody,
that? Listen now, 11 days old baby's face was harvested. The 2 eyes and 1 ear. It was on public matter. I made it public. Do you know that everybody removed body in Delta State? But Mohbad that died in Lagos, you people are will not let us hear what.
No, but wait.
that wasn't the question I asked.
No,
Now, I want to-
look.
No, hold on.
What is good for the geese
Comrade-
must be good for the gander.
Comrade Victor, I asked you a question, and I'm going to ask you another question.
I'm here. I'm all ears.
You believe strongly in different causes which you've championed. If other persons who don't believe the same thing as you believe choose to describe you as mad, would you be comfortable with that?
My dear, it depends.
No, it's a
On the
yes or no.
context.
It's a
It
yes
depends
or
on
no
the context.
answer.
It depends on the context.
Would you be comfortable with that?
It's like saying, "I love you," and "I love you." It's two different. It's the same word, but the energy you use.
No,
to
it doesn't
say
mean the same thing.
It's different.
I'm just saying that to mean that this is a platform where we don't discriminate against anybody. We are an independent media station, and we are not partisan. You're a politician, which you've established. You are a social activist politician, and you've established that. Very correct. But then other persons, now the Nigerian Constitution stipulates that people should be allowed freedom of expression of political beliefs, speech and association. So if people are not on the same page with you, it is unfair to describe them as mad. I would not allow that to go
Madam Speaker.
on
But you just said that freedom of speech, and that was my freedom of speech.
No, Madam Speaker.
No, freedom of speech does not come with curse words.
Madam Speaker, let me put it right. You said the Nigerian youths are disenchanted with the system. True or false?
Yes, that's a valid
So
one.
what is wrong with the youth that are disenchanted with the system, seeing somebody they believe that could be better off with the system? So that is why I think
I choose to disagree.
I think
I choose to disagree.
Do you know why?
Do you know why I choose to disagree?
The word here is-
Listen, if you want to talk about the person who has killed the economy more, is that person that you said?
See, that is
No.
no.
When
We're
you
not.
want us to start,
we are-
you want us to go
we
there.
are not going to.
Gentlemen,
We are
you
not
want
going
us to go
Gentlemen,
there.
I want to see.
we're
I
not
will give
having
you
that
facts.
conversation.
Facts.
The conversation we are here.
I will give you
we are
facts.
not talking about politics, and we don't want. That's what the Madam Speaker just said. We don't want to associate ourselves with any political party, but we should mind our language because we are in a national radio. This is a national radio,
That's right.
we should really be very cautious. That is the word of how we use terms, so that we don't hurt people.
Comrade Victor, to get back to the status quo of today's meeting, the previous administration has spent well above 10 million naira on drainages and averting flood in Delta State. But not less than 2 weeks ago, it rained heavily in Asaba. Itaba roundabout, I'm quite sure you know the location, and that place was as flooded as before. Now,
It
when
always
we
is.
talk about accountability, did this current administration take in cognizance of these projects that were done in the previous administration before even coming forward to say, look, let's hear from you? I mean, the previous administration had things that they did that this current administration could also look into and investigate if indeed those projects were well done. I mean, we're not talking about 10,000 naira here. We're looking at over 10 million naira. Millions of Deltans' money generated from tax and what have you. Now, these monies were supposed to be channeled to the right sources, and I believe every Deltan can agree with me when I say that flood is one of the issues that we face here in Delta State. So did this current administration do their homework to make sure that going forward, if indeed they decide to go the same way of the previous administration, of course we know it's a more agenda, if indeed they decide to go through the same way, there could be some level of trust from the people that this administration will get the work done once and for all?
You know the problem with Nigerians, we always feel that our own is bad, it's worse. When last did you watch CNN? Have you watched CNN for the past 6-7 days?
Delta State is part of the states that would experience flooding in 2023.
You asked me a question. Why not allow me?
Okay, go ahead. You seem to be deviating.
I'm not deviating. I'm going somewhere. You asked me a question. If you watch CNN, you will see the flooding going on in New York. The flooding is something that look. Have you heard of climate change?
It's a flash flood.
Excuse me. Haven't you heard of? Do you tell me that New York doesn't have state-of-the-art drainages? Do you know that even the underground tunnel was filled with water? Do you know that? Look, flooding is a natural thing. The rainfall is a natural disaster. So you will look. It's just like George Floyd that was killed by American police. He was not killed by Nigerian police, and we are saying police bad. Go to Libya, use leg, and be going to Libya from Nigeria. Do you know what those people that travel out?
Are you saying the drainages that were?
Do you know what Nigerians face in Malaysia and other Asian countries? The discrimination they face there.
Comrade Victor,
what I'm saying now is that you are trying to criticize Delta State government with respect to drainage system.
There is no criticism there.
No,
it's a clear question.
No, I'm giving you a clear answer.
And you just mentioned that
I'm giving you a clear answer that
there is a state of the art.
Wait, when last did you watch news on Spain and Italy, the way rainfall and flood is disturbing those countries?
Comrade Victor, to stay on the question.
When last did you?
Are you saying
it's a climate change issue?
Are you saying that
it's a climate change issue? If you like, dig a drainage that will be as big as this building, it's a climate change issue.
So it's a climate change issue.
That is why there is clamor for climate change action.
So you're saying that the drainages available at Itabwa roundabout are state of the art. That's your answer.
And the amount of money spent was justified.
Hello, I just made a clear answer to you. I just give you a clear answer.
Okay.
There is a climate change issue.
Okay.
If you think maybe there is blockages, you can raise the attention of the government that they are, because the government cannot do it all alone. That is where citizens come in. It's a shared responsibility. If you know that there are debris or nylon waste that is blocking the drainage, you call the attention of the government through your media platform that they should go and look into that place. The waste management, the environmental ministry, they are going to look into it. Did you call the attention and they did not go to attend to it?
How much of it?
And now I'm giving you a global observation of what is going on in New York, what is going on in Italy, what is going on in Spain, in Germany, with respect to the same flash flood that you just quoted.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Comrade Ojei. Just to round up the conversation before we go, citizens' engagement. If citizens are dissatisfied with government delivery on their promises, especially as it concerns the budget and things that they expect the government to do, how do citizens go ahead to engage the government to demand accountability? How do they go about that?
The citizens have access to the civil societies. Here in Delta State, there are some popular faces in civil societies.
Call names.
I don't want to be calling names.
People need to know who they should go to. No,
I don't want to.
I want to know who I should go to.
You can come to me. I will allocate you to an activist that is reliable.
Where is your office?
Office.
Where is
For
your
now,
office?
I'm here to have an accommodation from the government. For now.
Okay.
Is there a website, social media platform?
Do you have like a citizen complaint
you can look
platform?
for me on Facebook, Wongbox, and you inbox me. I can still give out my number. People call me every time when they have issues, and I address them. But I don't want to start calling names of activists. But when you come to me, I will allocate an activist to you. Then the National Human Rights Commission is also there, just beside this hotel, Golden Tulip Hotel by Miran Bank that way. You can walk into the compound. They are also there. The National Orientation Agency, they are also there. Legal Aid is also there. There are a lot of government parastatals that also engages with citizens when they have challenges.
All right, thank you so much. We've had Comrade Victor Ojei, who is the SSA to the Governor on Civil Societies and NGOs, join us on the show. It's been an interesting conversation. And just to take text here, just as we go, someone says, the young man in the studio says he's disappointed with Festus Keyamo. I reserve my comment. And then there's this one. Good morning, crew. Please, I take exceptions to the language of the guest in the studio. I demand that he retract his abusive language. I already know that he's talking like a politician that he is. Tracy from Okonam sent that. I think she meant the mad thing. So if you can, please, can you go ahead with an apology?
That was it. That was just trying to.
I would like you to, but maybe you do that before we go, when you give your final remark. Nzechime Dom says, indeed, the past Delta government has performed relatively good, and with Honorable Charles Anyagu's new appointment as commissioner, looks serious on the new job. We therefore hope that he will not let down his guards. Comrade Victor looks enthusiastic in his new job and hope he will not let down his guard as well as time goes on. However, time will tell. Thank you so much for sending your text, and thank you, Comrade, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. It was a wonderful conversation.
All right, then. Make sure to join Trend Talk tomorrow, same time at 9 a.m. My name is Success David.
And I'm Eric Samuel. Have yourself a beautiful day.
Thank you, Pio, for coming on the show.
Always my pleasure, Madam Speaker.
Comrade Victor, I was expecting that you say you apologize before we go.
I will not say I want to apologize. I can change the choice of word.
No, as an activist, it's not to me. It doesn't take anything.
I can say they are bandwagons rather than saying madness. So I changed the choice of word.
It's all right. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Top of the hour is Totori News, and this is Trend 100.9 FM.